What's up everybody, Jacob here with Coal Creek Outdoors, and today we're going to be going over the Iray M6T thermal dome camera. We just picked this up from Nuggets Night Vision, and I tell you what, this is going to be an awesome asset to have this year out for our night coyote hunting season. Every other year before, we're driving around in the trucks, taking a look at fields while we're driving by and checking out other properties, trying to scope out the fields that we're about to be getting out of the truck and getting set up on to hunt. And now this year, no more holding the head out the window. If you guys have thermal hunted in the past, you would know thermal optics, they can't see through windows. So if you're wanting to look out and to get a view of what's going on out in the field with your thermal optics, you got to roll the window down and get your head out of the truck. Especially when it's those sub-zero temperatures and the wind is howling. That's the last thing you want to do, is to be rolling that window down and getting out of the truck until you absolutely have to. So this is going to be great to have rolling 100% of the time up on top of the truck. The first tip I want to give you guys is actually go through the manual for this unit. A lot of times us guys, we don't really like opening up the instructions, but definitely do that. It's going to explain everything in good detail to you, what the remote does, and most importantly, how to set this thing up with a tablet or a wired in screen. As you'll see in our initial video here of us field testing this thing, we hooked it up on an iPad, and I had a lot of issues in the beginning getting the right application set up. Instead of reading the instructions, I just went and I searched for the app. You want to definitely use that QR code in the directions, scan that code, and it's going to bring you up to an app called Iray, I-N-R-E-I-I. Iray. Not sure how you say it exactly, but that's the app that you're going to want to use. The pictures look exactly the same. It looks like an Iray app and everything, but it does have a different name, and this thing will not work unless you use that app. So far, we've only used the wireless method, going from the Iray camera directly wirelessly to an iPad, and honestly, I don't think we have any intentions of using a wired display setup, just because everything was so fluid, there was no delay, it was really simple. You just launch the app, get the camera going on it, and you still use your joystick in the truck. The joystick is really responsive. You can get this camera going pretty dang quick in between the toggle to move the camera around and a couple of buttons that you've got. Just a really good system, really user-friendly. It's basic, but it's got enough features that's going to give you guys everything you're going to need out there scouting. So first, we're going to jump into the specs of the M6T dome camera, and then after that, we're going to take you guys out. We took this out on an initial field test and got everything figured out good. The crops were just planted, so this is about late spring, early summertime. We're getting into the fields and checking out this unit. But we've got it all figured out, and we're going to keep running this all season long through season 4. So make sure you stay tuned and you see us grow with this unit and then put it to the test. Keep in mind the intent of this unit. It's designed to be up on top of a vehicle, giving you a really wide field of view. So it's going to be a little different than what you would look for in a thermal scope. So think of this more so as a thermal hand scanner, something that's going to give you a really big picture, and it's going to show you everything going on out in the field. This unit has a 25mm lens size with a 1x base magnification. It does have digital zoom up to 4 times. It has a 640 by 512 resolution, a 12 micron sensor pixel size, a 50 Hertz frame rate, and a 50 millikelvin thermal sensitivity. Let's jump into the physical parts of this unit and how you're going to hook it up to your vehicle. Now, when you're going to mount this to your vehicle, it's very simple. Each one of these corners, you'll see that you've got 4 suction cups. And what you do is you clean off the surface of your vehicle, UTV roof, wherever you're mounting this thing up to. Get it nice and clean, set it on a good flat surface, put a little bit of pressure on each corner, and then one at a time, you're just going to pump up these blue pistons until that red line disappears. I could pump up each one of these corners and no problem pick up this whole table with it. I was a little bit sketched out hooking this up for the first time, a little bit nervous. We stopped every 5 miles or so on the highway and made sure that this thing wasn't going anywhere. At the end of the night, we ran about 100 miles and this thing did not budge whatsoever. So I'm very confident this thing is not going to go anywhere. If you don't like the idea of the suction cups, there's all kinds of different ways you can mount this up. Use your imagination. The camera actually mounts up to the suction cups There's 4 bolts, 1 on each corner of the plate that the camera mounts up to. So if you wanted to make your own bracket, there's also brackets online that you can go ahead and buy, and then you can have a direct bolted up camera to vehicle surface instead of relying on these suction cups. You got your antenna for your wireless connection. It's got an elbow joint, and you can also finagle it around, turn it, twist it wherever you'd like to get it set up at. And you've got your 2 female connection points. You've got your wiring harness here. So if you're running this wirelessly and you're going to be streaming it from the camera straight to an iPad or a tablet, all you're going to do is you're going to mount this camera up to the roof. You're going to take this one connector that comes off of your remote, you're going to plug it in, and then this will give you the power to your camera and the controls from your joystick to the camera. So then the only other thing you need is your power. Now this is a 12 volt DC connector, goes into your cigarette lighter of your vehicle. There is a way around this. A lot of modern trucks, they don't have these connectors anymore. They've gone to USB, they've gone to 120 volt AC connectors. So there is a good way around this. I'm going to show it to you next. If you do want to use a hardwired display, in this wiring harness, everything is bound into one harness, even the remote. So the remote is detachable from here. You've got your female end of your plug on your remote and a male end on the cord, so you can detach that if you want. But if you're wanting to run a wired display in this harness, you've also got a 12 volt connector right here that you can plug into your display. Like I said though, we ran an iPad and it worked flawlessly, so I would highly recommend using the wireless method. You're gonna have a lot less cables running around. So whereas instead of these cables running around for your display and everything, you can just run it wirelessly and have a lot cleaner setup. One disadvantage of running this unit off of your truck battery power is a lot of times with your vehicle, once you kill the ignition and a certain amount of time goes by, your cigarette lighter power, it might die out and turn off. So a really good advantage is picking up one of these cables. These are really cheap off the internet. This is just a 12 volt DC female socket running over to 2 battery terminal rings with an inline fuse. Definitely make sure you have something with an inline fuse. You want your fuse to be your weak link if you have an electrical fault or a short of some reason. You want that to be your weak link, not your camera, not your cable, and definitely not your battery. If you're into making film, this is going to be another really cool advantage that you would have running this off a designated power supply. You can have your truck shut off and keep running this camera off of your designated power supply and get another really cool third-person view of another vantage point of both bringing the coyotes in and you being out in the field hunting. So we're going to be giving you those viewpoints here in season 4 of Coal Creek Outdoors. So definitely make sure you follow the channel and keep an eye out for that. The joystick is detachable, so you've got a quick link here where you can take this off, and now you've got your joystick, and it's a simple one-hand operation, so you can manipulate the actual joystick part with your thumb. The response time is really good. It's pretty quick, so it's something that you definitely want to spend some time getting used to, but a little bit of motion on this thing goes a long way. And then you've got your 2 buttons up front here to control the different functions of your camera. Really easy functionality of this joystick. Fits great, really ergonomic in the hand. So again, you've got your joystick to move the actual 360-degree position around of your camera, and your 2 buttons up front for your functions. Now we're going to take you all out to the field and show you what this thing's made of. All right guys, we're out here testing the Iray M6T thermal dome camera. Got it set up. We're in the off season right now, just kind of burning time, planning stuff out before the real season comes up here in November.
Go through little color palettes here with you guys. So right now we're in black hot. Flip it over to white hot. And it's got I'm gonna call that, I don't know what you call that, a violet or a red hot. And then this one's not, makes everything look really grainy. Probably won't use much of that color palette. White hot and black hot seem to be the best. I like running it in black hot. Brings everything a little brighter on the screen. We're got hooked a little battery in the back seat of the truck right now. We're gonna try to hardwire this thing in before season. That way we can just plug and play and go.
So I got a deer out there or something?
Yep, looks like one of them deer. We drove down this lane already once and backed back out, but yeah, it looks like a deer. Try to get a yardage on him.
So this thing comes equipped with a laser rangefinder. It's got a green light on it, so you can see it with the naked eye. If you got passengers in the truck, and point out your reference, the target you guys are looking at, just turn on that green light and it's going to indicate to you. You've also got on the upper right of the screen your icons. This will tell you your positioning on your vehicle, so make sure when you get it in front where you want it, you set your 0 reference, and you can pan it around, get a quick view where you're at on the vehicle.
And if you want it to go back to 0 on this toggle switch, you just hold it and it'll bring you right back around to your 0 reference. And you can always change your 0 reference. If we want it to be off the side, we can just set it over here and then hit the 0ing, and that'll always be our 0. So if we want to have it off to the side while we're driving down the road so we don't take any rock chips off the sensor or anything, we can just set it off to the side, put it at a 0, that way it doesn't move while we're driving down the road. But like I said, it's got really cool features. We can record on it, we can take pictures, we can set marking waypoints. A lot of cool features. Like I said, we're still playing around with it, kind of figuring out as we go, see what setup we like the best. Well, it's starting to sprinkle, so we're gonna run up and check out one of these new pieces of property we just picked up. Do a little scanning. Jacob's gonna show me the piece. He met with the farmer last Saturday, I believe. Kind of gave him the runaround of property lines and things like that. So we're gonna go up here and
Something out there.
go check out what's going on. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be a big game changer for us, especially them cold, windy nights where you don't want to have your window down. We can sit in the truck, we can take a break, kind of just relax and enjoy ourselves and ride around, especially nights that the coyotes ain't talking. We can go ride around, just look at our fields, see what's moving, what's not moving, get a good indicator what's going on. Stay tuned for more from Coal Creek Outdoors.